Sugar.
Hey, we got it.
I know. Welcome back to Trauma Unfiltered. We've been away, we've been a little busy.
Yeah, the whole world changed since the last time we talked.
Oh
It's
yeah.
totally fine.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Um, that is actually there's some trauma there.
Yeah.
Um, for me
Yeah.
as a whole, right? Like one, but anyways, welcome all our people that have been watching, supporting us.
We're gonna dive right in.
Um, welcome to the Happy Halloween house. I love Halloween. But we're back with me and Amber. We are gonna have a guest next week, or maybe record it this week, and then we'll post it after this one. Some really cool things have happened over the past couple weeks, but there is some horrific things that have happened globally, I guess, if you wanted to put us all in the same world that is interesting. It is interesting. So, everyone, I did get married on September 10th, which is the same day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, which is just really interesting to have that like moment, right? And I think there was this like we got some fucking mentally ill people in our world, like including me. Like I'm unhinged, right? like,
Bro, can I please just say, given all of everything that happened that day, you were the calmest, most collective, polite bride I have ever interacted with in my life. And I interacted with brides that became my part of my family this year. You know what I mean?
yeah. So I'm
You got to give yourself
you're
some
telling me
credit.
after like 19 years, I got a little bit of some healing going on.
Like, turns out, like maybe you do got your shit together because, whew, I saw a range of crazy women weddings this year. Absolutely unhinged.
Yeah, and I got to share that later on, right? I got to share that like women with severe trauma, especially sexual trauma, and getting up to a point, not only healthy relationships, but even like to that point where this could end up in a marriage or commitment or which is really
Mm.
interesting for me because if anybody knows me and knows my story, like part of my story is like I'm a runner. I mean, you know,
She's a runner, she's a track star.
and and I have to be really clear because this is something that I want to talk about a little bit is I think that running came in when I got into recovery because I will tell you part of my story is that I stayed too long in places. And I wish I was more of a runner when I was in that really dark, really traumatic, really deep
Mm,
addiction. I wish I was a runner, right? Because I stayed for way too long in
mm,
places with toxic
yeah.
relationships, trap houses, situations. Like I was not a survivor that was held like with chains and stuff, right? And I know that story is out there and that is horrific for me. And it is even more horrific that it's more related to children of trafficking. That there is this really bondage, right, that goes along. Um, but I mean, like I do know I ran one time from my home and I stayed the fuck away from there. You know what I mean? And then I like got really comfortable in really sick, toxic places. You know what I mean? And that was like out of desperation, right?
Yeah, tell me the truth. Tell the truth. Everybody, let's make her tell the truth. How did Jason do it? Bro, because you were a track star. You were fast as fuck. You had your fast shoes on 7 days a week. How did you do
Yeah.
it? What was it? Tell the truth.
I don't know. What is that story? Like when you find the O, right? Is that Dr. Seuss? Is that the story of Dr. Seuss? I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's like simple. Like I've never even argued with him. You know what I mean? We've had some disagreements, but I have never been in a relationship so simple in my life that is not this work to feel love, be loved, give love, show love, appreciate it, you know what I mean? And so I think with that combination and with the work that I've done over the years, there was nowhere else to run. Like I found what I was looking for. You know, like I'm like, you mean my decision making isn't as fucked up as I thought it was, right?
Yeah.
Or he is definitely, you know what I mean? He and the cool part about it is like we don't see eye to eye on everything. We don't have like the same like group of people. Like he has his, I have mine. He has like things that he loves doing, and we have things we love doing together. But like it's like I walk out of the house and I'm like, hey, I'll see you later, and then I'll call him on my way home. It's not like I'm being questioned or
Yeah.
or and he is the same way, you know what I mean? And so it's been really refreshing, but trauma is a sneaky bastard, right? Like, and I will tell you, um, this brought up some stuff for me, right? Like this
The
brought up,
wedding,
yeah, well, just this.
the Charlie
I
Kirk
think
stuff.
I think planning a wedding with so much trauma is a little bit different, right? Like one, like losing my dad at a young age, right? Like and not having that like aha moment of him walking me down the aisle and reflecting on that time, right? Because I
Mm,
was I was a trashed kid, right? I was broken. That man, I mean, that man tried to save me so many times from trying to commit suicide and walking out the door or even going to my other parents' house, right? He's like, why do you keep on going back there? There's so much damage. But I was already so trauma bond there that like, and I was normalizing it that it was hard to not go there because there was a reward,
yeah.
right? The reward was I get to act out, use drugs,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I had like so, and then and I did put my dad and the first daughter's, you know, picture in my bouquet, but like that was another one, right? Like there's this moment of like I am a parent that lost a child and I think when you and and it's not easy, right? Like even watching that death or like I think humans are so stimulated right now. There's no way back in our day, like you literally had to like go to a newspaper article to find out who died. You know what I mean? Or like a friend of a friend of a friend would call someone, right? Hey, so and so didn't make it today, or they were found, or whatever that is. Like now you are so you can open your phone and you just see so much that like it's hard not to like one be sympathetic or be a sociopath, right? Like you can be one or the other because it's so normalized.
Mhm.
And I don't know. Like there was, you know what I mean? Even listening to some of this stuff, like going to the hospital, like when I went to the hospital when they rushed my daughter to the hospital, like that shit you can't get over, dude. Like you're trapped in that fucking hospital for fucking years. And to try to get
Mm.
out with therapy or even trying
Mm.
to use it away, you are fucking like in this circle. It's like the elevator fucking continues to break down every time you think you're gonna walk out the fucking front door, and it just doesn't fucking happen. You know what I mean? And you leave a piece of yourself in there. Like you
Yeah.
return, right? Like all of those things. And we are burying people at a rapid rate, regardless the fentanyl epidemic, like violence epidemic, you know what I mean? The health epidemic. Like we have like a health fucking crisis.
When it's just gonna get worse. January 1st.
Western
So
society is fucking nuttos, right?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm like, no, no, no. I'm afraid to fucking take ibuprofen. I just don't fuck with it. Like people
Listen, listen. Damn. Now, wait. The whole pause. Everyone, I'm getting in on that class action Tylenol shit. You know I am.
But I'm just like so
Tylenol gonna pay me.
yeah. And you know what?
Mhm.
Like that's even emotional, right? Like the man that I married has a kid with autism, right? Like And he's one of the coolest kids ever. Like kids with
Yep.
disabilities are
They always
so,
are.
they're like, they're just moonchilds, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think they're on Earth to teach us like stuff, to be silly and free and loving and no boundaries and it is heartbreaking. I don't discount that like it is a crisis, but I do and that parents like that's not easy, right? Like having kids with disabilities, but like I do believe that they're meant to be on the world.
Oh,
You know what I mean? What happened? Did you cut out on me? Oh,
they're for sure very
I was
special.
like, she
Very
said something. Am I tripping?
on level. Did I? Like, did I cut back in? Huh?
Yeah, can you see
I
me?
think 2 and 3 autism spectrum disorder is autism like 2 and 3. We're talking, nonverbal. This is where I think the research should be like heading. But I mean, the spectrum is quite big, but quite beautiful.
Ah,
The the data and like the images of even just a neural pathway for someone with autism, it makes sense what's happening. You know what I mean?
oh yeah. But
Um,
they're just so we're just taking in so much information. And I hope we do get some more information. Like
Me
um
too.
we are the health crisis in and I
Something is
would
going wrong. Something is, I mean, this all isn't a coincidence. Like something is really fucked up.
and I'll tell you right now, as a survivor, and I'm guessing, and we hope other survivors talk, but like we come in and there's some damage to our bodies, right?
Mm,
Not
mm,
only, I mean, not only your personal story, like sometimes we have to have reconstruction and surgery, and like we
mm.
get body dysmorphia, we get like eating disorders, we get very low self-esteems, we are very scared and some I've met survivors that like are like I want to gain weight so nobody's attracted to me anymore, right?
Yeah,
Or we go to the other
yeah.
spectrum, right? Like we have our ass hanging out, right? Like, you know what I mean? I dare you to say you want this because I just want to tell you no. You know what I mean? Because we just didn't have the option to say fucking no, right? Like,
Like give it away for free.
yeah.
You know?
So like we get
Yeah.
like I've been on all of those spectrums, right?
Yeah.
Like
Me too.
where and it's scary and
Hmm.
and age, right? Like some of us survivors that like have maybe made it into this healing journey or recovery journey and that like we've kind of grown here and we're a little bit older. Like there's some like age is another one that kicks our ass, right? It's like all of a sudden you can't, you know what I mean? You're getting buying products or afraid to look in the mirror or you're just not you feel older than you think and then you like even us like right what I do a nonprofit you support and work with nonprofits and you come out with us but then you go out there and see these young girls and they look way older than they are
Oh my gosh.
way older or they look so young or their face
Uh,
is so torn up right from like high
so sick.
sweat or just bad acne, or we just know what addiction does, like just even the breakouts, the
Mm.
missing, muscling, the scars, the track mark, like it is,
Oh my God.
and
They're
those,
mangled. They're
yes,
mangled.
yes,
Yeah.
and then they come in and you have to deal with some of that stuff, right? Like my first couple of years in recovery, I still was so skinny that I wore like the leggings with the shorts with the baggy sweats to like and wore the long sleeve with a t-shirt and a hoodie because I was so skinny. One, but the other was just covering up some of that stuff, right? And then it was like, oh, I can use tattooing.
Yeah.
And then I got them
Then
all
you run out of
over.
room.
But you know what I mean? And I got them all over to and I'm grateful that I got to rebrand myself because I was branded,
Mm,
right? And
yeah.
and I got to use and all the tattoo artists that have ever tattooed on me have been incredible that have helped me create a canvas of what I want, right? And not these other things, right? Regardless
Yeah.
and regardless if it was dumb shit, right? Like fucking me video loca, like what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like I was losing, you know what I mean? I was trying to tattoo myself doing all kinds of stupid shit, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Things happen in prison. You know what I mean? Fuck.
And it's just interesting, but I know, I mean, and I'm really excited to hear survivor stories. I'm excited to hear families of survivor stories because that is,
Mhm.
can't even imagine. Like there is a moment with trauma. Obviously, now that I have my granddaughter, like even thinking if that path, like as a family member, I like it would be devastating, right? And we know family members that don't even have closure, right? Like
Mhm.
their family member is still missing or out there or could
Mhm.
possibly be dead. Whatever those things are, like I so to hear different spectrums, right?
Mhm.
Or that the cross the range of what someone goes through in this cycle of trafficking or exploitation or high risk sex work or choice or addiction or coming from a long line of trauma that this by the time this happened, it was like whatever. That's the
Yep.
other part, right? Like the we whatever.
So
Like
many of our adult survivors are feeling that right now in North Temple. They're, totally feel like they're complying with this whole situation, right? Or they have a good pimp, you know? Like he doesn't beat me, he doesn't brand me, he doesn't, steal from me. Like he treats me with respect, but he takes 50%. But they're okay with that. They're totally that is less traumatic than the other shit they're experiencing on North Temple.
I mean, I will tell
So
you right now, like I've met some kids out there that absolutely shouldn't be out there, right? But kids ain't running away from home because they're safe. Like, let's just keep that fucking real for sure. Right?
something's going on.
Yeah. And, and I've seen them on the missing and, help me find and we find them and I give them a choice and they will absolutely tell you, I'd rather be out here getting raped by someone that I don't know than
Right.
my
And it's
dad or my brother or my
or
stepbrother or my uncle. Like, and to
right.
absorb that, I'm I agree with you.
Right. Or when the girls are like, I'm just gonna run if you take me back, you're like, okay,
Then
everybody just relax. Everyone just we gotta have a different approach because whatever's in this child, the ones that are the most terrifying. I mean, yes, we sometimes, you'll see adolescents and they'll run, they're fast, they're way fast. They got shoes like January's got. But the ones that you don't see, that, like the one we were looking for the other week, that are groomed online by a predator specifically to get them out of their home, those are the ones that terrify me the most.
oh yeah,
Right.
they absolutely groomed and targeted, and
Mhm.
they are definitely being brainwashed. And
Yeah. We don't see those ones really like out on North Temple, like running amok, being a menace, fucking committing crimes, all gang and shit. We don't find those ones. You gotta have like real investigation done. And I mean, I don't know what our ICAC teams are doing now with AI, but I hope it's some. I hope it's fucking some because they better not be looking through terabytes of information at this point when we all got Chat GPT. Like, I don't know.
yeah, and
It's too big. The monster's too big.
yeah, I mean those conversations, it is emotional. I will tell you, like when I find a someone that's on those missing Facebook pages, like that choice. And it's interesting how some of them will walk away and because it brought up something from them, right? Regardless if it was emotion that somebody's actually cares about me and I feel like nobody loves me and I don't feel safe in my own skin and and I use this substance that has created this barrier between me and love, right?
Mm,
Me and
mm,
compassion and me and loving myself that they'll walk
mm,
away and then all of a sudden they might come back, right? They're like, hey, can I use your phone? Right. And
mm,
then we hold the phone and put them on speakerphone, and then this like fight breaks out, right? Like there's this, or there is this, hey, I want to come pick you up. And I'm like, are you wanting to be picked up, or do you want me to take you? Like, what do you want to do? And then maybe family members coming and then they don't get in the car, right? Or an addiction is powerful. We're well aware of that. Like, and the synthetic drugs that people are using now compared to what people were using 5 years ago, totally different ball game. Ball game.
Checked out. There's something in it. They're absolutely targeting the mind. Like they
So
are gonzo.
I will tell you right now, of being doing outreach and being an addict from, the streets and
Mhm.
using, like, I have never seen drugs that have changed the DNA of people like I have with the xylazine and the fentanyl and the fentanyl powder and the blues. Like this synthetic drug, even synthetic marijuana, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
dude.
Like, where's my
Oh,
old dirt, Mexican dirt weed? You know what I mean? Like this stuff, I would
oh,
just nutto
it.
or spice, like even spice. Like
Oh
it
no,
is. And then if you have untreated mental health disorders, there is, it is they're checked out and it's scary and they're super vulnerable and they're exposed and they're targeted and as a community as a whole, like they're targeting, like, and these women, and you're super vulnerable, like they don't have legs, so like nothing lasts like it used to, right? Like you could do a hit here and there and you could go about your day and run your hustle, like.
wait. I mean, what you just said right here, right? Like they don't have legs. And this is, we're thinking about this girl that we saw last week in that wheelchair who was missing a good portion of her legs. Running from a situation is impossible.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
super vulnerable.
Working a full-time job is likely impossible for her.
Oh yeah, the
Like
barriers of coming out right now is scary.
I'm sure she's given up, right? Like I'm sure she's at a point where she's like, this is my life. And she's probably, I mean, when I saw her and her body, I was like, I, it's just not the same. It's not drugs. Like we're not dealing with drugs anymore. This is the war against our physicality and our mental and spiritual health is like as Americans, whatever they're putting in this shit is not to get us more addicted, it's to get us more fucked up.
Oh,
Like our populations are, I mean, it's bad, right? And
it's
most of them
dangerous.
are refusing to go to the hospital. So,
Well,
and
it's
they're adults.
dangerous, right? Like it doesn't, like I'm saying too, it doesn't have legs where it lasts long, right? So it's like
Oh, I'm thinking you're talking about lit that she doesn't have legs.
I know,
Like the girl.
but you brought up some stuff there. But the thing is, it's it's like crack, right? You have to have it. So there's
Yeah.
this, it wears off in like 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So you have to have it. So there's a desperation. So, right, when you have to have something, right? And we knew that from the crack epidemic, right? And I know that from my own crack addiction, right? And I turned into a
Yeah.
monster. That's the only drug that turned me into a fucking monster, right? And,
Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Yes,
and
I
it,
agree with this.
you know what I mean? And so the it is really easy to start normalizing, right? As soon as that's wearing off, you're so desperate. It's like, I am willing to sell my ass. I'm willing to get in the car. I'm willing to do a $5 blowjob. I'm willing to do this date. I'm willing to risk this. I'm willing to get in without a phone or not telling people where I'm at or risking, and there is people out there that have that that is not part of their story, is sex working or coming from sexual trauma, and then they create that story because of some of these drugs out here,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And pretty soon someone sees you doing that, right? That's where you can get targeted and groomed out there, right? Some
Yeah,
see you
exactly.
there.
Walk around and find out. Like, I'm out there with you guys last week. I hadn't been out for a while. January, and I know why. We won't talk about it right now. But I went out with you the other week, and recently here in Salt Lake, which is where January does outreach at every single week, we had the fair, the county fair, like all the little rides and the games and all the sweet cute things. But where it's located at is like prime high crime area where all the pimps, gangbangers, and like where everything's at. So cops came in, Utah Highway Patrol got a contract, came in, cleared everybody out of that area. And I was out there in January last week and she couldn't find You should just by the way, hit that on the camera. Like we're just gonna live our life, right?
Not only that, well,
Anyway,
Poncho's over here squeaking his ball, and I'm like, you
oh,
bud. So
give him some
I'm,
fucking bread. Give him some bread.
I'm like, you, me and my dog are having a moment. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, okay, okay, go continue. But okay,
But
so
I'm listening to you.
the cops come in and move everybody. They move everyone out because they want the fair to look and like people to feel safe and blah blah blah. So what was once a I mean, when we get like our community in the high crime areas a little bit stabilized, we're talking about people who can obtain resources. They feel safe where their little spots at. Like everyone has a little niche. They found their spaces, where not to go, where to go. But when the cops come in and make everyone move, I mean, people get hurt. People get hurt. And still, I mean, January, you can speak on this and please do. Still missing women that you work with every week that you still can't find since the fair, right?
But yeah, and they're just being moved, and that's probably, it's just it's hard because we have to shift everything too, right? Like
Yeah.
as an outreach team, you start to shift, and a lot of the outreach teams out here in Salt Lake, they'll shift, they'll start moving, getting a little bit more, going to these little spots, regardless if it's two, three, four, start asking enough questions, and we'll find them. But it is a devastating. There is this cleanup mentality, right? And we get it. Like nobody, I mean, there is neighbors that have shared with us, right? There's like 4 or 5 overdoses that are just
Yeah.
happening right outside of my house. And there's
But
cops.
I mean, but it's been happening out there for a while, like
Yeah.
whether
And
it's
so
right on your street or the street over, like it's
and
been in
so
centralized area.
yeah, so there is, you can't blame them for wanting some of that,
Right.
right? You just can't. Look at him, he's a little bastard.
We love you, Poncho. Let him live. My God.
And so it does make it harder for us, but we do a really good job. My team will go into places, we'll start knocking all over again, we'll start asking enough questions, but it is, we hope, right, as someone, um that maybe some of these people that we used to see every week that maybe got arrested, and there's an opportunity for them to get in resources that way, right? That they might opt into treatment this time or whatever, or maybe they're just in jail, they'll be released soon, we'll have to start over, which makes them really high risk for overdose. And so, or maybe some of these guys did call their families and go back home after they've been arrested, or maybe they opt in to go into a shelter, or we are opening up more resources in Salt Lake, but like that it is, I definitely have been weaning with some of these women. So when we don't see them, and it's devastating for us, right? Like we are worried, wondering where they are,
Yeah.
making sure that we make some kind of contact. Um, and that's part of our stories, right? Like my part of my story is nobody was looking for me. No outreach team was coming into the places that we were at. Like, and it was probably pretty scary to think about outreach coming into some of those areas, right? Like
Oh,
right now,
yeah.
Colfax, if you go down Colfax, looks totally different than what Colfax looked like years ago. Like that place, you couldn't, like, you were not, like, and you knew you weren't welcome either if you were an outsider, right? Like, and those were some of those areas that we ran, right? Like even in some of those trap houses, like not just anybody can come over to those places, right? And so
Mhm.
they're very dangerous. And so we built such a connection where we're welcome and we're building this trust, and that we are breaking some of those barriers, but none of those teams were coming out and checking on us, right? Nobody was knocking on the hotel doors that you were at being trafficked, or where I was, you know what I mean? Like coming into those places. And so we are creating some new involvement over the years and building some new avenues for people to have access points to resources. That means that we are going into high risk, high vulnerable, high impacted areas. And you got to man up, right? It's when you know what I mean? You man up and you start building connections with some amazing humans or some really evil people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It,
you're
you,
gonna bring it. You're
you
gonna
have
good.
to build those. on the pendulum to do these outreach because you need to make this connection and you have to be coming into their world. I'm not asking them to come out of there. And
Mhm.
because they're not, right? You know what I mean? They're not. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I yell at some people. You know what I mean? I've been here
I
for
know.
an hour. You're gonna sit right there and not come. And then now that I packed my whole thing, you're gonna fucking come to my car now? No, 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 no. That's not how it goes down, right?
Your
And
little say, your little saying on Tuesday, I still say it in my head. I can't wait to say it tomorrow.
I
She
know.
asked she asked the dudes that come up for outreach. She's like, "You want any condoms?" And they're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Don't be silly. Wrap your willy."
You gotta make it silly for them. I do think people thrive. Like it's so crazy. Some high-ranked gang members, man, I have some great jokes. I have some great times. I'm goofy with them. They
Yeah,
fucking love me. You know what I mean?
they do love you.
You know, and so and to get back to that, like the night before my wedding, I do outreach, right? Like I'm not out there, I'm not having a bapchorette or rehearsal party. I don't need all that stuff. You know what I mean?
You
Like,
got baptized. Didn't you get and you got baptized
no, I got
on a
baptized a couple years ago.
I know, but you got baptized on a Tuesday, right? Like,
No, I was in
oh,
I was in
I'm
South
just making
Carolina.
up shit.
Yeah, I did
Oh,
it in the ocean in South Carolina.
oh,
Yeah,
that okay. All right, all
yeah.
right, all right. Keep going. Yes.
With him,
Before.
with the same pastor, but like I watched people get prayed on that night, right? And what's crazy is those moments, like, and I want to get to this because this is where I think this like comes down to last week, and which is a trauma response for me. Um, Me and God, right? Like there was like, there's some things that I used to
Sure.
do. There's no fucking way that there's a God out here letting this happen to people, youth. I was watching worse to other people and almost inviting that in to like maybe buffer myself a little bit because I was a kid that brought other kids on that property and I didn't know I was grooming them or bringing them. I was like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then the things that happened before that as a youngster and the sexual trauma and then all the abuse and then burying my daughter and my dad. Like I was just like, there's just no way God loves me, right? Like, and you know what, at this point, me and you just got a mutual respect that like we just don't like each other because obviously neither one of us are showing up for each other, right? Like I'm definitely not calling on you because you haven't been there. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're
Yep.
definitely
Yeah.
not calling me to like go minister anywhere because I'm fucking like, you know, like so I really had this thing. So it took me a long time. And going into a 12-step program, that is a big word. Like
Mhm.
that word is in all their books. And it's
It's the whole
about
point.
three. If I were to ask ChatGPT to go through the books of any 12 step and say, how many times does the word God pop up? That motherfucker would be like, I've lost count at 10,030. You know what I mean? Like this is
I
there
mean,
it's
the
so
whole
and
point.
yes,
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
spiritual awakening and this and that. And so it took me
Huh?
a long time, even though I was in this program and miracles were happening, I still had a hard time connecting with that word. Right.
Mhm.
And but after I had a, you know what I mean? I had a cool spiritual awakening and that was a couple of years ago and that was and I was grateful that I was called to make that decision and being baptized in the ocean. And I have a really cool picture at that time, like where I was coming out of the water. And it was pretty intense. Like, you know what I mean? There's like this weird glow. There's this, like, it's just so, it's a little emotional for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, and to have that moment, but like, I was so grateful. And I'm going to say it's because of my algorithm, but I was so grateful when I got on social media, even the next day or during the weekend or like after my wedding, how many people were talking about God and like spiritual awakenings and living differently and
Mm.
accepting this way of life. Um, that like I needed that because that's like we're losing that. We're losing that battle hard, right? We're losing whatever battle that is. And I do know for a fact that a lot of I don't feel like God sent evil people in my life. I just think there's fucking evil people in the world. And it is scary. You know what I mean? It is absolutely scary. And I have a couple of friends recently that have messaged me even from the wedding and said, "Hey, I'm gonna get baptized this week. Hey, I'm gonna," you know what I mean? And I was like, "Yes, that's so
Oh,
cool." And they're doing it their own way. Like even
yeah.
hearing that I was in an ocean doesn't mean like I was in somewhere, you know what I mean? And I think it's gonna be really cool. But that's just a scary word. Like it fucks with people's minds. Like, and you can't believe in this without this, and you can't, you know what I mean? All that weird shit. But I'm grateful that I've made some really big decisions in recovery. One, like stop running and committing and having this beautiful man in my life and like you know what I mean? Having a different relationship with God to like grow and be inspired by my own choices and saying no to some things too, right? Like I'm like, if this is working out for me anymore, right? Like I'm fucking might just sit in my house and not surround myself with a bunch of fucking weirdos all the time. Or try to impress people, right? Like as survivors,
Yeah.
we can try to fucking impress people. Because we
Oh,
want to
yeah, we
show
don't.
people that we're healed.
We don't like making mistakes because our mistakes come with grave consequences, and
Yes,
trust within self and others is like non-existent.
right. And it's scary. Like it's
Mhm.
almost like, or you start to stumble or back away or do some things. People are like, oh, she's relapsed. She's done this.
Yeah. She's fucked up.
I know. Actually, I'm just trying to fucking get some space from your bitch ass. You know what I mean? Actually, you were the fucked up decision. And so now that
You
I'm,
leave me, you leave me wondering, and I'm a fucking wander off, motherfucker.
yes, dude, I do.
Yeah.
Not all those who wonder are lost. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I refuse to sink, dude. I'm just not gonna do it. I allow some of these narratives to fuck me up.
I
And
just, I know this about you. I know this to be true. And I'm just going to reiterate a little bit about what you said is, I mean, I know how you feel about God and Jesus and this path and um, some of the things that Charlie had spoken about. But the fact that Charlie had lost his life on your wedding day, right, in Utah, and
like
what
10
you took
miles
from
away
it,
from us.
10 miles away from you. And what you took from it is when you got back on the internet after the wedding and you're re-engaging with the community again, you realize something's different about them and that they are more outspoken about Christ in their life or some sort of spiritualness added to it. And that's the beautiful side of you, January, is you could have been, I mean, that could have, I'm sure it was affecting me. I had to leave early because my son was affected by it. And
Absolutely.
to have this space where I was somewhat detached from it was beautiful for me because I don't think, I mean, that image, it does go through my mind over and over, but my memory of that day was that that wasn't my main, it did consume me, right? And that I was with and in the presence of love and a lot of spirituality there in that room. You know what I mean?
And people
Oh,
showed up for us despite all that, right?
they
Like
did.
it was a scary time, right? Like that
Yeah.
was like, and people still, and and you know, isolation is a silent killer, right? And so, and not processing that or have something growth, but it was, you know what I mean? And to watch some of that stuff where I was, like we just get so much information. It is so nuttos, and there's so many weirdos out there, dude. I'm like,
Oh
there's
God, and just all of the AI stuff that's added to all the stupidity now too. You could trust nothing. You have to wait until you get all the information before you start formulating a real like opinion. But I don't
and
know.
people
I
need
know.
to stop creating before like it is crazy. I don't know, but I don't know. It was for me like I've had some damage, dude, from the same sex, the opposite sex, from people. Um, that identify different than everybody else. Like I have had, like I've been in parks where there is some fucking sick shit that's gone on as a youth watching this from all sides. You know what I mean? And I had a lot of that stimulation, right? And it desensitized me, right? And so I normalized some of this stuff, but now I just can't imagine that like what kids are going through.
Oh my
I
gosh.
cannot imagine with social media that it is and how easy it is to target or how easy it is to fall in line or to not be outspoken or to have be different or to be like you can't these days, right? Like you can't like even on both sides, you can't be this or you can't be this, and that is so unfair. If somebody
Mm.
wants to be wild, free, and spiritual, they should be able to be wild, free, and spiritual. But and on this side, if someone wants to be conservative and have boundaries and live this way, like they should be able to too. Like it doesn't matter, but like you can't do any of those anymore.
Right, right. I think of like
And they have,
when
I think that some of those areas, like even in the projects, don't have codes, just like this side and this side. There's some codes. You act right. You fucking act right when you fucking come into this neighborhood. You do not,
there are rules. Yeah.
every community, and then you act like when it doesn't fit your narrative that you're not this person. It's like, bitch, you know that you have the
Yeah,
same.
quit playing. Yeah, quit playing.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to, I know that as survivors, we always are like, we know we're fucked up and like, we know it's a spectrum of how fucked up we are in one day, right? But I just want to say, January, like, if there ever was a moment where like it mattered that your people and you and your lover were all on the same page despite what was happening outside. It was fucking beautiful. And I love the recovery community for that because we can hold space.
Right.
And that was very hard for, no matter what side of the fence you land on, right? Politically or however you have to feel like you have to fucking identify these days. September 10th for January's wedding was very spiritual. And I'm so grateful for that space because I don't know if I could have handled it if I would have been fully saturated in it. I think it would have affected me far worse.
Oh
It
yeah.
was so much better for me to focus on love and community and connection and spirituality and being watching Pastor Rudy and Lori marry you two was like I, I mean yeah, I mean, and to watch you in your spirituality from like when I first met you to this moment
Oh yeah.
and what it meant for
That's,
you. And I don't know, it was just,
I know, and
I
we
know I
had
wasn't
such
the
a
only
good
one.
time, dude. We were so goofy.
Dude, you guys, January forgot her fucking flora, her, what do you call it?
Okay. The bouquet.
The bouquet. She forgot it, dude. I'm
And then I had to
sitting
run back.
sitting there videoing her, and she's like, "Okay, all ready. We get her. The dress is all ready." She's like about to make her entrance, and like she doesn't say anything. She just runs. She just runs up, comes,
Oh,
runs
oh shit, there she goes. She's leaving the party.
up. It's over. She's not chill. She's not chill. She's freaking out. No, it was the bouquet, and she runs right back, and then just
Yeah.
walked right out there. It was.
And I broke down up there. Like that was a moment for me. Like I'm 47. I've never
You're
even
hot as
been
shit.
asked to be married. You know what I mean?
You're a hot 47-year-old. Okay. Yeah.
Single. I look like I could pull off some stuff.
You're doing some shit, girl. You're doing some shit.
But I don't know. It was a cool moment. And for me, I'm grateful. And there will always be this time too that something traumatic happened on that day. And I can't even imagine, right? Like
I
that.
can't think of anyone better to be with during that time than being led by Pastor Rudy in celebration of you and Jason and with my fucking community, who I know damn well is safe and no one's going to pop off and do some crazy shit. Everyone's going to hold space and be respectful. And that was the biggest blessing that I could have ever been given for the resolution of Charlie's life, right? Like I couldn't
Well, and it
have
was so cool
imagined.
because so many people just like didn't have any expectations on us. Like I've been to weddings where there's just like this line and they're like expecting you to take pictures with all of them. They're expecting you to have like I
So weird.
I hung out with my granddaughter the whole fucking time. You know what I mean?
You did.
I was like, dude, or she was following me and I was following her, or I'm fucking being weird with you in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just wandering around and watching people have their own space, own conversations, doing their own thing.
Yeah.
I knew that whatever has kept me here for 19 years in recovery, that made sense to me. The people that I surround myself with are people that are not desperate for attention, don't need these things, that love being in space with us, but they don't expect me to be any more than what I am. It was so cool. So many people sent me
Yeah.
pictures of me like playing with rocks with Ramona. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, that's the coolest picture I got, right? And I'm like, whatever. Or this private dance with Jason, right? Like at the end of the night, like we did a private dance. Or I spoke and I fucking called out all the motherfuckers, right? I was like, thanked my boss for my paycheck. I'm always,
Yeah.
look,
Everybody sit down.
just remember what's happening here. But like just to look out there and see that, it was just cool. And like, I don't know, if you are, I really want to iterate, like if we do as survivors, there is this beyond, right? There is beyond that trauma. There is beyond that silence, which is the new theme for the gala this year. Um, there's still stuff and it's not easy and it's not we got to navigate it, but we get to, like, we're some of the cool, like we've been through so much for us to be able to be silly and laugh and walk and have boundaries and be able to say fucking no and to say yes when we want to. And we as survivors, like we have to have that voice. And I'm going to tell you right now, as us survivors that are a little bit older coming out, like we got to gain some strength because these young ones that are out there right now are going to need more than just
They're wild.
the days in treatment or even
They're,
medication or whatever it is. Like they are going to need to be surrounded.
oh, that's so, I know the youth out there is so bad right now. It's scary. It's so scary.
Like this, and me and you have talked about it. Like we need long-term treatment programs for survivors, like especially male, female, any gender survivors that have experienced long-term trauma need long-term treatment.
Especially for our youth.
Mhm.
Where did that youth trafficking center end up going? Nowhere? That was on the news. I thought they were breaking ground. What the fuck?
And it sucks too, because there is this liability with youth, and then there's parents, and then there's this weird insurance with
DCFS.
in DCFS, and then there's
But
CPS, and and some of them have families that are, broken, and like, and it is difficult. It is hard, but we have to like find,
we got to figure it out.
we do. But the truth is, most of those youth are aging out of those. So they're becoming 18, 19, and we have to create programs for them right there. We
Mhm.
got to catch them right there. Like 18, 19, 20. That's where we got to catch them.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're not catching them. We're not.
No.
When people are doing long-term programs according to the new law, like they're considering 45 days, 60 days long-term. Boo. Anyways,
Oh my God. Yeah,
if
it's
they're
so
doing that
dumb.
amount of time and then even from out of state, making it to a fucking street that they should have no idea where it, that it even exists in Utah, and they're beelining it there, and I'm meeting them on my outreach. Like we have a fucking problem.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
because we need to be doing therapy in fucking treatment centers.
Where
Once,
did all the
twice,
therapists go?
twice a week. We have
Yeah,
all these people graduating too, and they're not in facilities. It's like, I don't know what's happening, but these people should be meeting with therapists once, twice a week.
at least.
They're at least.
Yeah, and we should.
And maybe
Yeah,
one meeting a week as to build a community, not 12 meetings a week and maybe once a month with your therapist. What the fuck are we doing?
no, that's not working.
No.
I don't think anyone knows what we're doing right now with the evolution of this disease. And so we're all scrambling. But if you're not holding on to your clients and recommending for them to stay with you and stay close for a year, then what the fuck are you even doing?
I know. So if we have anybody out there who
60
wants to
days?
invest in us starting our own treatment program, we will take your money.
Who's got the money? Who's got the money?
I got a great program worked out that I will. But the other is yes. I really love that there's a couple of programs right now that are building those phases up to a year that's even with alumni. Like we have to have some of that right now. And there is some programs
We
building
have
that out.
to. Come on, people. 12 to 18 months. You got to have them. You have to have a sober living. You have to have IOP. You have to have fucking wraparound care. Stop. Stop. Stop.
We'll come in and consult you.
Who's got the money? Let's just
And
do
we
it
have
right.
to have like, you know what I mean? Like we have to have like female doctors on site, not all male doctors all the time. And like that shit's pissing me off. Like it's breaking my heart. Like that's whatever. That's a whole different ball fucking game.
I know we're gonna need another hour for that.
I know.
We could just keep going. I got more shit to talk about. Fuck. I haven't seen you for fucking 5 days.
I know. I don't know. I don't know. Thank God that we're just staying wild and brave and bold. And we really appreciate all the people that have taken the time to watch our last two, our
Yeah,
episode 0 and episode 1. I love that we started with 0. It was
me
like
too.
around 0. And then it's like,
Yeah, we're
we
setting the
got
tone.
like, well, our last one got like 114 views.
That's more people than I am friends with. I'm sure. I'm thrilled about it. I was absolutely thrilled because this is not topics that people love to listen to. You know what I mean?
But
These
we
are hard
make it
topics.
interesting. We're like, even, and the other is that like, we don't know where it's going. It's gonna go somewhere. And
Yeah.
we're giving
Yeah.
people platform voice, people that you guys never see, never hear from. They're not mainstream. They're not some big, you know what I mean? Like we
Yep.
just want space for people. And, and we've created other spaces. Like there is spaces. Like if you're a survivor, reach out. Like we have groups that we could offer that you can come to and even online. Like, you know what I mean? There's um
We'll meet you where you're at for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. And
What I what you guys can look forward to coming up is
yes.
we will be speaking to a family member of a trafficking survivor. And I think that this portion is important. There's been a lot of families who have reached out with active, Utah cases or closed Utah cases that involve human trafficking. So you will be hearing from them. Some of them have found their children and their children were rescued and doing well, and some of them have not found their children. So I think it's important that our community in Utah sees and recognizes these people because they are our people. These are our tribes. Like they're fighting the same fight. You 100 people that watched, like you'll be very amazed at how strong these families are.
Oh yeah.
I just can't wait.
Yep. Well, anyways, we're signing off, but I want to show you my build a bridge and get the fuck over it.
Burn it. The
AFB,
bridges you burn.
AFB has these mugs. It's
Is
great.
it a tumbler?
Yeah, it's a little, well, you put a lid on there, but I'm just drinking my soda.
It's, oh, it's so cute. I
I
love
know.
that.
I gotta remember that sometimes because I can get resentful. I can hold a
Okay,
couple of grudges.
I mean, there's been how we close out here around these parts. Um, there's been so many crazy Utah cases this past week. It's been like, but these are all just like at the beginnings of them. So I mean, we've all seen some fucky shit.
I know, but I want to bring this up because I know that we're doing this, but listen to this. As a whole in Utah, if you are someone that is just watching article after article of someone sexual assault, authority figure, uh, trafficking, molestation, like it is so much right now. But let's say that we're somewhere else. This is the first time in a long time that we have seen this. So that means more fucking people are standing up and reporting.
Yeah.
Being
Yes.
loud and not being quiet in such a state that is, no, we can't expose that person. That's,
Hmm.
they're standing up. Let's hear more.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Let's
Yeah.
expose them, report them. And so,
It's
even though it's so gross to hear and being like, the fuck is going on in Utah? It's actually going on in all states. People are just not fucking reporting it. And family members are keeping the family secret or the community secret or the church fucking secret
yep.
or the coworker secret.
Yep. Yep.
And now they're coming in light. So let's fucking let women or
Or
men or kids or whoever is
yeah,
bringing this, even though it's a lot to process, keep on doing it. I would
amen.
rather see 4 or 5 articles like that exposing motherfuckers and
Mhm.
exposing that they might be only getting a week in jail and a year in probation. Fuck that, dude. Now we know. Blasting
Yeah.
your ass all over the place.
Yeah, we are going to blast your ass. And we're asking our community, if you see these articles, we're asking that you use hashtags so I can keep track, as hashtag do better Utah.
Yeah.
Um, so there's been a few that got me fired up, and I was already triggered, right? I was already triggered. So I let the internet have it this week. I was talking mad shit.
You
So
were
sorry.
so funny on all of
No,
those articles.
yo, I'm fucking going hard. Y'all can kiss my fucking ass. Sit down. Everybody sit down. I'm here now. Amber is in the comments. Okay. Well, it's true.
I'm
It's
like,
true. I'm a
you
fucking
don't miss a
psych.
beat. I'll go click on there and all of a sudden yours comes up and I'm like, she is up early.
You know me and my databases. I fucking get nerdy for them. So I'm gonna read you an article that I just read today, but I was gonna look more into it. But it's off of Utah News Dispatch, published August 18th, 2025. She begged prosecutors to pursue her sexual assault case. They told a judge she wanted it dismissed. So she wanted the case prosecuted. The prosecutors told the judge she wanted it dismissed. The following story was reported by the Utah Investigative Journalism Project in partnership with Utah News Dispatch. Anne didn't immediately go to Hurricane City Police Station. Instead, she waited outside for nearly an hour trying to build up enough courage to walk inside. She was grappling with the decision of whether or not to report the sexual assault. Eventually, she did walk in, taking a step the majority of sexual assault survivors do not, reporting to police. Anne knew that would only be the beginning of the process. She had to relive the incident each time she described it to the police. It was also difficult to complete a rape kit, an invasive and often traumatic medical examination used to collect evidence after sexual assault. It would all be worth it, though, if she could stop something similar from happening again. I'm taking this very seriously and I'm trying to do the right thing. I recognize that this is his life and it's also mine. Anne said during a hearing for the case that would stem from the report. I don't have the courage to do this for just me. It's been horrific, but I have enough courage to do this because I'm fearful for other women. And I think that this needs to be stopped. The Utah Investigative Journalism Project, referring to Anne, a 58-year-old small business owner based in Southwest Utah, only by her middle name in accordance with our policy and reporting about sexual assault. A little over a month after Anne reported the incident, police arrested her alleged abuser. Anne knew that the process was far from over, and when she begged the Washington County Attorney's Office to only proceed with the case if they were going to take it seriously.
Right.
I asked over and over again, at least 3 times, if they were going to drop the case in the beginning. Anne said, please, I kept saying, please don't do this. Please don't put me through this if you're going to drop the case. Anne said she was assured in a meeting with a victim's advocate and the prosecutor that that wouldn't happen. But 4 months after filing charges, prosecutors were ready to throw in the towel. I'm not going to read the rest of the article. If you're interested, it's very long and the story goes on and on. But her story is important, and this goes into what January was speaking about the reporting of sexual assault. We have to handle these situations with the most care, because if you drop the fucking ball on this is why survivors aren't coming forward. So,
And not only that, then she's the first of many victims. If there's not a if you're not willing to prosecute, so then later on we're gonna hear it's the same person, and then her story is gonna be convoluted of like we could have done something different years ago.
It's just the same goddamn story over and over. It's the same thing that happened with my trafficker. There were he was charged with some fucked up felonies by several different women, but always took it to the box. Always took it to the box, and these, me included, were too fucking afraid
Right.
to get up there and to stop him. So we got to do something different. And Anne's story matters. And
I love you.
don't make fun of me because I call them the Hurricane Police Department. So I'm a local.
We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We are signing off.